Hi again, it's me, Lilian Raji, Global Communications Advisor, fractional CMO, and founder of the PRadvisor.com. Happy to see you're back for the next class in the series. So excited that you love this course as much as I did making it. Now, just a quick reminder, these YouTube videos here are giving you the fundamentals on influencer marketing, but the real, true breakthrough comes from the additional $3,500 in bonus materials. And you can only get them by registering on the PRadvisor.com website. Registration is completely free and comes with the best part, a 20-minute free call with me to answer all your questions directly about harnessing the power of social media influencers. What are you waiting for? Head over to the PRadvisor.com website now to get your bonuses. See you soon. Welcome back to the next session of Harnessing the Power of Social Media Influencers. When we last left off, we were dealing with the $1,000,000 question, how do I find the right influencers? We're definitely going to go into that, but before we do, we must first address the elephant in the influencer marketing room. Fake followers, otherwise known as influencer fraud. Because of how lucrative being an influencer has become, remember, I did say 21.1 billion with a B, right? Many people are ready to lie, cheat, and steal their way into the business. And there exists many companies ready to help them do just that, creating bots and fake profiles and using other deceptive practices to get you to believe in their illusion as an influencer. I'm going to teach you right here and now how to get past the smoke and mirrors. If you want a more detailed look at this so you can save yourself the headache of dealing with the faux influencers, make sure you pick up a copy of my ebook on the subject, Influencer Marketing Fraud, Weeding Out the Fakers, Liars, and the Delusional. We're going to cover a few things to look for during this course that will help you in quickly identifying potential fraudsters, but the book really goes into detail with every trick in the book of how to identify the most sophisticated techniques used by the most sophisticated fraudsters. You can pick up a copy of the book on the PRadvisor.com website. But for right now, I'm going to teach you a few tricks to quickly expose those fake influencers out to steal your marketing dollars. So, here's your first lesson in identifying fraudsters. For our example, we're going to use someone who I'm renaming Southern Girl for the sake of her privacy. I found her on the Influence website where she ranks as number 42 for jewelry influencers. We read her profile. She's worked with over 85 brands and claims to reach over 25,000 followers. I am a mom of two and a teacher of gifted children. I love the Southern lifestyle and everything about it. I'm a foodie, traveler, decorator, designer, and fashion fanatic. I've worked with over 85 brands and love posting and reviewing for companies. I work with many of the same brands on a monthly basis. I'm consistent and stick to my lifestyle brand. I reach over 25,000 people from all over the world. I also have a Facebook and Snapchat. Let's work together. She just sounds delightful, doesn't she? So I go to Instagram and look at her posts. How many of her 40,000 followers on average like and also comment on her posts? In this example, I see on a post 127 people have liked and only 11 have commented. Well, it's kind of early. I scroll down and I see 327 likes and 31 comments. That's a bit better. Of course, I'm not considering that Instagram counts her responses in those comments. So assuming she's really an attentive influencer and responds to everyone, she really only has about 15 followers commenting at minimum, but we like when they comment. It's a very good trait and one you definitely want with whomever you work with. It means they're really engaging with their audience. What we don't like to see is less than 1,000 people liking your posts when you claim to have 40,000 followers. But let's give the Southern girl the benefit of the doubt. What's going on Facebook? Hmm. She's getting anywhere from 8 to 30 likes on her posts with 1,400 followers, and in this example, she only has 2 comments and 29 likes. I think I'm falling out of love with her. It's time for a credit check. Let's bring in the big guns. So, in the interest of time and sanity, I don't advise you to go through every single post of your dream candidate, but I do advise going through a good 5 or 10 before you bring in the big guns. You can get a good idea of who she is from how just a few posts are doing. Social Blade and IG Audit are really great free tools. Unfortunately, at the time of this recording, IG Audit no longer works the way it used to, but I've kept it in this course, however, to illustrate the challenges of influencer marketing when it comes to identifying fraud. In today's worksheets, you'll find alternate resources. But back to our example. I use these free services only after I've done the basic search because each one takes a few minutes to generate results. As an Uber type A, my patience is rather lacking. I'd rather spend it on candidates I've already met my minimum requirements, which can be determined in less than the amount of time it takes to run the audits. Spending time on the candidates that meet your minimum requirements versus spending it on every single candidate that looks interesting will save you a considerable amount of time. But let's see. What does IG Audit have to say about our Southern Belle influencer? Oh my God, only 37.8% of her alleged 40,000 followers are real. That's a whopping 62% of fake followers. And so, to the 85 brands she's claimed to have worked with, the money they spent on her would have been better served being donated to a homeless shelter where the people there are actually real and would have appreciated the investment. Now, shame, shame, shame. Now, let's take a look at a big shot. So, Oleamoda also comes from the Influence website. For her 134,000 followers, she gets a good number of likes and comments. When I went to IG Audit, however, we see she has 34% fake followers. So, why do I consider her a hotshot? Because unfortunately, fake followers can't be avoided. Everyone gets fake followers. It's a consequence of the bots that plague the social media world. Part of their modus operandi is to randomly follow legitimate accounts. Because of this, I won't penalize someone who has 25 to 30% fake followers. I'll raise an eyebrow at 35%, but if it's someone I really like or someone who has a high follower count like Oleomoda here, I'll dig deeper into their profile to see what's going on. Above 40% fake, however, I know I'm dealing with someone who's faking it until they make it and wasting your money in the process. One quick anecdote, I'm acquainted with a very well-respected influencer for whom I plan to use in this training as a case study. She has almost a 500,000 followers and even manages an influencer agency. I thought she would be the perfect person to show you how to find a good candidate. And then I ran an audit on her and discovered 60% of her 500,000 followers are fake. I know what you're thinking. Well, that still leaves over 200,000 who are real. So what's the problem? I use Social Blade to get deeper and notice a pattern of her following and unfollowing people in large quantities. This is another trick fraudsters use. To gain real followers, they'll follow a large amount of people for a short period of time in hopes that these people will follow them back. After a few days, they'll then unfollow those people to ensure their ratio of followers to non-followers remains wide. This is not an influencer. This is someone gaming the system so they can charge you a lot of money to have access to their followers who only follow them because of manipulation and not because they care about anything the influencer has to say. This is an example of the sophisticated links fraudsters will go to in order to get you to waste your money with them. Don't forget to check out my ebook, Influencer Marketing Fraud, Weeding Out the Fakers, Liars, and Delusional, to learn more techniques. Find it on the PR Advisor website. So that's all I have for you for today. Next session, we're going to go into which is better for you, micro or macro influencers. See you then.